Life is not a solo act. No, it's not. It's a big, messy, delightful ensemble piece, especially when you're with your people. You know, in fact, look around. Seriously, go ahead, look around. You're probably sitting next to some of your people right now. These are friends that you might have for your whole life. And there will be many others to collect along the way, so always keep your eyes open. Because if I know a thing, it's important to stay connected to your loved ones, stay connected to your friends, and most of all, stay connected to your dreams. No matter how big, no matter how impossible they seem. The truth is, dreams are how we figure out where we want to go. And life is how we get there. And I know that even though you're about to throw your caps in the air, good luck finding them again, I know that you will stay connected to your families, your friends, and your dreams. Because life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing. Keep pretending. You've all done just what you set out to do.
Please rise and join us in the singing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our forefathers bequeathed these gifts to all Americans. May they continue to live on in the hearts of our children, and may these United States of America endure through all generations as the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's show toast time. What are we toasting today?
Today, we are going to be toasting to Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, Walt Disney's dream that didn't quite seem to make it because Walt ended up passing on before it could come out. But this theme park is quite amazing. It is my favorite of all of Walt Disney World. So to Epcot and what it stands for, ever in a state of becoming and showing what civilization can be, coming together, celebrating cultures, technology, the future. So cheers to Epcot.
Cheers. Cheers to Epcot.
It's good water right there.
Refreshing.
The best.
Yeah, not Florida tap water. I actually filled it up with some nice spring water. Florida tap water.
Yeah,
no Dasani in that bottle.
We all know it's Beverly.
Yeah.
You caught me. It has a very nice aftertaste. Good, it's solid.
He's hardcore. He knows how to go.
I did
that's for
I
sure.
did have some Beverly, and it was quite something. If you haven't had it, it is the most thirst-quenching drink you can possibly have at Walt Disney World. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
5 out of 2 stars.
If you've never had it before, definitely take a massive swig the first time you try it.
Puts hair on your
Just
chest.
one gulp. One gulp.
One giant
That's all it takes.
gulp, that's for sure. And as always, a great day to talk Disney parks from coast to coast and around the world. Hey friends, it's Wade for the Kingdom Report. You know we love rewarding you for watching this show. All you got to do to win your very own copy of my new book, Stand Alone the Walt Disney Way, leave the phrase that pays underneath this video right after the live show is over. Leave the phrase Avengers Campus. Avengers Campus is the phrase that pays this week. Yeah, between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time in which to enter. If you are the winner, we will reach out to you and get this book shipped your direction, all by entering Avengers Campus in the comment section beneath this video after the live show, or you can get Standalone the Walt Disney Way right now on Amazon. And on today's broadcast, we are covering a couple different stories for you. Perhaps you heard out in Orlando, there's this new gigantic theme park that just opened up down the street from Walt Disney World. It's called Epic Universe. Universal is now playing a much grander game, perhaps. We're also going to be talking about how Walt Disney World has revived the Little Mermaid musical at Hollywood Studios, a Disneyland Costco discount you have to know about, and we're going to take you inside what it's like to be at Typhoon Lagoon's H2O Glow After Hours event, the special ticketed party that you can be a part of because it is now running through the summer. All that and so much more. I hope you're ready to talk some Disney parks. Disneyland is celebrating the 70th anniversary as we head into summertime. All that and so much more to discuss. I'm going to be joined by Garrett Hassel, Katrina Manzone, and Tyler Crouch for this edition of Disney News Talk Live. You stick with us because this show, it begins next. Disney News Talk Live, your opinions, your Disney parks experiences. As I mentioned, Wade Heath here with you for a new edition of this very show where you get to sound off, let you know, we'll let you know what the stories are, you let us know what you think when it comes to everything going on out there in the theme park ether. This week, of course, as mentioned, also joined by a good friend of mine. Name's Garrett Hassel. He's our reporter. What's up, Garrett Hassel?
Not much. Just happy to be back with you guys again. Happy to be chatting with some, chatting about Disney and everything that we love. And I just missed you guys last week, and I was kind of at a wedding, so I'm happy to be back now. And let's get the show on the road.
Kinda at a wedding, or you were at a wedding?
I was at a wedding, but it was not
Okay.
my own. I can promise you that. If it was, it's almost a year to the date that Ariel and I got married on the Disney Wish. It'll actually be on June 1st. That's the cruise ship anniversary. So yeah, no wedding this time for me. This was just me attending as a guest with my lovely wife for some good.
Well,
friends.
you can do those sorts of things now that you're married. You can
Yes.
show up and share all the wisdom that you have after a year in the can.
Yeah, my thing is just do the laundry, put away the dishes, and give snacks and treats to your wife who's in med school so she doesn't attack you. That's the best.
Living
advice
the
I can give.
dream.
Yeah,
What a
yes,
dream come true for you.
Yes, indeed.
I cherish every moment. That's what I say. Our very favorite theme park analyst, Tyler Crouch, joins us as well. Hey, buddy.
Hey, happy Saturday. I
Happy
cannot
Saturday.
believe it has been about a year since that cruise, since that wedding. It was a lot of fun, and the only thing I could say is I wish it was longer. You guys should have gotten married every day, for the whole year. Then we could all
sort of
still be on a boat.
Yeah, it's like Alice in Wonderland, a very merry unwedding, but that sounds sort of dark and sad as opposed to an unbirthday.
I guess so.
Yeah.
An unwedding to you.
You have some fun thoughts, Garrett. Let me tell you.
I do indeed, and this is without a single drop of rum.
Okay.
Just imagine what he's like after he gets a few in him. We also saw that on his wedding cruise during a special mixer day where we got to combine some things and learn from the experts, bartender on board. And you'll recall, Tyler, Garrett got very involved in that.
I do remember. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Hands-free skill. That's what I bring to the table.
And that's why,
among
you're
other
married.
things. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why he's married. And of course, the lovely one. We can't do a show without her. She is our travel agent extraordinaire, Katrina Manzone. Hey, you.
Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. I do miss
Katrina.
being on that cruise and just chillaxing in the sun while you guys did your thing.
Yeah, it was a good cruise. Had some good times, some great memories. Still on my phone, I've got all the photos that were done during the ceremony. I still show it to people, and it feels like yesterday. Sometimes, other times, it feels like it was eons ago. But no, very special times, and it just let's go on more cruises together, all of us together. When there's not a wedding ceremony, we can actually socialize more.
I had a great time. You were the one that had no time. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
I had very much fun. Moving all those parts on a cruise is a admirable goal to try and achieve, because it is stressful enough when you're doing it on land.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just remember that I caught a brief moment of Wade trying to harass the waiters and waitresses in Paolo about Splenda. No, I'm just kidding. He was not harassing them.
It was Stevia, not Splenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep
Your
messing
story
it up.
straight, Jared.
Okay, I'm just
Stevia is perhaps one of the worst sweeteners. Let's all be honest.
That's your.
Let's all disagree.
Sugar.
Let's all disagree and let Tyler know that Stevia is outstanding. And of all of the sugar substitutes, if you will, for a premium line like Disney not to carry Stevia, while something like a Carnival happens to carry Stevia, that seems strange to me. Just thought I'd have more selection. That's all. No big deal.
I think that just tells you a little bit about Stevia.
I don't know about that. I don't think it's a grade for grade, if you will.
At
I
least
think
it
it's an
wasn't
option
sweet
thing.
and low.
Exactly. That's a little different.
You see that blue packet or whatever packet it is, you run.
Sweet and low is the pink.
I'll take sugar.
and I
Thank
think,
you.
and I think equal is the blue, right? I think that's how that
equal.
works.
Sweet and low is the pink one.
My favorite is when you go somewhere and they just have the off-brand sugars, and it's like they have the yellow, the pink, and the blue, and it's like,
But
this
no
is
name.
No
not
real name?
Splenda and not whatever the other one.
See, I
They're all the same.
enjoy sugar in the raw, like when it's in the little brown package. When I see that, I'm like, oh, they got the straight brown sugar.
just
right
don't-
I do
I
stevia in the raw.
Oh.
I just can't do real sugar, because then I feel like bad, like because I have to put in way more. I have to put in like 3 packets for every 1 packet of Splenda.
That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
Do you remember over at Steakhouse 55 when they had the sugar crystallized on the stick, like the sugar? What is it called?
Oh, I do remember
Yeah, like
those.
rock candy, like rock candy.
Rock candy. Yeah, it's like
Oh.
rock candy, and they would give it to you if you asked for sugar. And I felt so bad opening up that package and then stirring it like 3 times and then taking it out of my coffee because I don't like it sweet. I just want like a little bit, and then
You have to
I just
measure
stir
it.
3 times, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. What a waste. I feel so bad. That was bougie.
That was their
That was
choice.
bougie. Yes. Well, we are all sweet enough, I think. I wanted to get your take here. 70th anniversary now underway. We talked about it at length last week. Garrett, of course, you were maybe at a wedding, but we had to determine last week all the things that they were offering that were new, all the things that they were offering that were reused. I figured it was a great chance to ask you all what you think in terms of adding something to the 70th anniversary that might make it a little bit more special, whether it's something from the past, something brand new. What would you like to see? And I suppose, Tyler, we could start with you.
He is the
Sounds good to
future
me.
CEO, so he will be able to make the changes first.
I've got the number one answer here that everyone
You
will
do.
appreciate, I think. So we all know back for Disneyland 60th, they plussed up the parks quite a bit, added some stuff to some of the attractions, like for example the new Yeti at the Matterhorn, things like that. I really think it would have been very fun and would have added more to this anniversary if they finally upgraded Pinocchio over there in Fantasyland, because they've been slowly upgrading all the rides in Fantasyland for what does feel like the past decade. We had Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan and Snow White, and I think at this point it's about time that Pinocchio gets his due, because that little wooden boy, he's got no strings to hold him down. Well, except for Disney management, I guess.
Wow.
But he deserves to be a real boy and get out there, have some new fun in his attraction, and along with just plussing up. Yeah.
I want water splashing on my face when Monstro comes out. I want to feel the wrath of that mean whale.
Yeah, I want to smell his fish breath.
I want to smell the cigars of Pleasure Island.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I want to hear them still say the word jackass on that ride.
Oh, they used to?
Yeah, I don't think they do anymore. But anyway, I think that would be a lot of fun, and like Fantasmic has been struggling. Bring back the freaking dragon, for God's sakes! Like, what are we waiting for? Like, I think just those two pluses would have really brought some excitement to the 70th anniversary, and we could have all celebrated happy together.
Wouldn't that be perfect? Yes. All right. So enhance Pinocchio, get that dragon back in here. Katrina, something you might want to add to the 70th anniversary to make it even more special.
Well, I would say, give me back Steakhouse 55.
Oh,
yes.
There it is.
Right?
There you go.
Wouldn't they be like, hey, just kidding, we're opening it for the 70th. It's so
LOL.
great. Katrina, Tyler, we have your booth right here. Whenever you want.
Your weekly risotto.
Lunch, dinner with risotto. My little sugars, my crystallized sugar.
No stevia, thank you.
No
Right.
stevia and
Thank
stevia
goodness.
for Wade. That would be really fun. Also, in reality, I wish that they would just give annual pass holders like better discounts so they can like show up and feel like they're special, not reduced rate tickets for people. Like annual pass holders are the ones that show up, so they should pay back a little bit instead of like raising the rates inside the park. They should give us like a little discount, kind of like what they're doing in Disney World with annual pass holder appreciation.
A little something extra.
That's what I want. Yeah.
That would be nice. Yeah. Usher it back in, please.
What is the term undesirables, or what was the term
Yeah.
that they said?
Undesirables.
Yeah.
He didn't like us.
That was it.
He didn't like us, that Bob Chapek. And Garrett, if you were to bring something into the 70th anniversary to make it even more special that they don't have already, what do you think you'd do?
Bring back the McDonald's French fries out in Frontierland. Give me something
Huge.
simple.
Westward Ho.
But that I mentioned that to friends, and they're like, they never served McDonald's. I'm like, no, they had the French fries, and it was a little wagon, and I remember it, and then it went away. And you're like, no, it's not. And then I showed them the picture, and they're like, what? But I'd probably bring back on some People Mover. I just want People Mover. I didn't get Rocket Rods. I never got People Mover. I want some,
That's a big commitment.
That is a big commitment. But it's the 70th. It only happens once. So why not bring it back instead of just leaving empty train tracks up there that don't get used?
Would you
Really?
be happy with a picture opportunity instead of them building it? Because that's going to take like 10 years for them to do.
Honestly, just if they can just remove the old sign for Project Stardust or whatever that's not all wilted in the sun, that might be enough for a 70th anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah, I know we've talked about it so much, but it's honestly an embarrassment that those tracks have just been empty for so many years now. It makes Tomorrowland feel very yesterday land, let's just say.
Yeah. But you know what? A little wagon that sells Golden Arch French fries, that can happen in just minutes.
Easy peasy.
Or that can be
do
done in the
that
afternoon.
overnight.
You get some paper mache and a little fryer, you're ready to go.
I think
It is
we all
funny.
would benefit from it.
It is funny how they have distanced themselves from McDonald's so much, but then they're still just like, oh, but we'll sell toys there, you know? It's very
Still a relationship.
yeah, we still sell the toys there, but oh, they can't come near our parks. That's crazy.
It's the truth. Well, Westward Ho, back into our lives, might just make the 70th even more special. You're right. And thank you all for your contributions. Let's dive right into the news here. I'm sure you heard Walt Disney World's got a new neighbor. For decades, Universal Orlando Resort was a pit stop on a vacationer's way to the most magical place on Earth, Walt Disney World. But now NBC Universal owner Comcast aims to rewrite the travel itinerary with Epic Universe, a major new theme park in Central Florida that opened on Thursday. An estimated $7 billion investment has doubled the resort's size, adding 750 acres and populating it with familiar movie and game characters, which it owns or licenses. It features 5 themed worlds: the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Celestial Park, and Dark Universe. Disney has dominated the Orlando scene since Disney World's Magic Kingdom opened in 1971. In 2023, Walt Disney World attracted 48.8 million visitors, more than double Universal's attendance of 19.8 million that year. According to a report from the Themed Entertainment Association, Epic could siphon off at least some of the demand. MoffettNathanson analyst Craig Moffett wrote in an investor report about Epic Universe's potential impact on Disney. Moffett predicts Epic Universe could attract 9.5 million visitors in 2026 and bring in more than $1.3 billion in revenue. Some of those gains will come at the expense of other parks, including Disney's, which Moffett estimates could lose 1 million guests over the next 2 years. In time, it could draw 13 million visitors a year, more than either of its sister parks, he estimates. Ahead of the Epic Universe launch, Disney has reassured investors about its theme park business. Disney told investors that bookings at Disney World remain strong over the next 2 fiscal quarters. It has been making steady improvements to its Florida resort to keep the experience fresh for visitors, including adding the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind spinning roller coaster in 2022, Tron Light Cycle Run, roller coaster in the Magic Kingdom in 2023. It plans to spend $60 billion over a decade to, quote, turbocharge growth in its parks and cruise businesses. In April, Disney began offering half-price tickets for children ages 3 to 9 this summer, and also cut by half the down payment Florida residents make to purchase annual passes. Garrett, Epic Universe is now open. How do you forecast what this will do to Disney World's tourism? You think Nathan Moffett Nathanson? You think they're right?
I believe that I don't necessarily think that it will like pull all the attention away from Disney, because Disney has been, sitting on top of the hill for a while and still has a strong pull. And I view Universal's target demographic as something different than Disney's. Disney is what I would consider family entertainment, and Universal, I tend to think more towards teenagers and young adults, and maybe young families. But I don't see it as like, hey, this is where grandma and grandpa come to hang out. That's what Disney World's there for, where you can go on Pirates and everyone can ride on it. Epic, you've got roller coasters, you've got height and weight and ride restrictions on there. And so I think it will pull a small group away from Disney, which I'm honestly okay with if it means that the lines will get more controlled and not be as chaotic. There's never a downtime now at Walt Disney World, which is sad. But that's good for business. You never want downtime because that means more revenue. But all in all, the Epic Universe is great for competition because what they're doing there is incredible. They've got some amazing new audio animatronics out there, such as in the Dark Universe area on the Frankenstein experiment. And I'm all for it. I think it's great. And I say bring on the competition. Disney needs someone to, to push them to go beyond and do more things and not just keep doing the status quo and, look for little I say penny pinching things, whether it's through, Lightning Lane or whatever. So I think it will not hurt Disney, but it certainly will challenge Disney to a certain degree. And when I go out there, I will let you. Like, even though this is a very Disney oriented channel, since we are the Kingdom Report, I will vlog my experience in Epic Universe and take everyone along, and I will compare it as best I can to, my experiences with Disney. Now, if Epic or Universal ever does a cruise line, I don't think they can really touch Disney. Disney's cruise lines are, I think, pretty top tier. But you never know. Now, if there's a cruise with Harry Potter, you got Dementors flying out there. That's some scary stuff.
And Tyler, this park feels so different by comparison of everything else in Universal's arsenal. Do you agree with Garrett that this might truly be competitive when it comes to Walt Disney World?
Oh, I definitely think it's competitive. I think he's right about the demographic. I think they skew a little bit older age, but I think they're just going more for the families that have, a little bit older kids. I think there's a lot of kids that reach a certain age and they immediately are just like, oh, Disney, that's kid stuff. I don't want to do that anymore. And so I do believe that they're going to really capitalize on those families. And let's just face it, I mean, just the Harry Potter stuff, the Wizarding World stuff is still just captivated so many people. And I mean, then you have Nintendo, which kind of bridges the gap between all ages at this point. I mean, we've had Mario since 1985, since even before that when Donkey Kong came out. And so that's just a slam dunk for them, I think, along with all the Donkey Kong stuff out there. And it's going to get people who are on the West Coast even to get out there to go see the things that you can't see in California. And it just, to me, Universal has never thought of themselves as a company that's going to be dragging away all of Disney's business. They just want people to come and stay for 3 or 4 days, and that is a win to them. And I do believe that people are going to be shortening their Disney vacations at this point to go and see one of Universal's. I'm going to be generous and call it 4 parks, even though one of them's a water park. I mean, even, Volcano Bay is great. I mean, it's a great place to hang out, and I would rather spend a day at Volcano Bay than go to like a resort pool, for example. But I mean, I think I'm very excited. We're going in about a month to go see Epic Universe for the first time. And I've just been stoked on Dark Universe and seeing the Donkey Kong roller coaster, checking out, just exploring the Isle of Berk, because it seems like there's so many little hidden details and like living dragons that are just out there. You don't even have to go on a ride to see the dragons for the most part. You can just explore the world and see them doing their thing. So that sounds incredible. And I mean, the Ministry of Magic ride also just sounds so good, but I'm most excited for Dark Universe, to be honest. And I think that they are hitting on just something for everybody with this park. And then not to mention that they have their whole other parts of the resort. They are definitely going to be stealing some business from Disney. There's just no doubt in my mind. Now, how much exactly, we're not 100% sure, but how could they not at this point? Now you can stay at Universal for 4 days and do something different every day. And that is a big win for Universal, for sure.
Changing the landscape, absolutely, and competition is always a good thing. I think we've come to realize that pushing Disney up against a wall makes them better. We've seen it over time, and I think this, being as big as it is and being as detailed as it is, finally with the right IP, with the right licensing, I think the right brands are involved to make this Disney level. By comparison, I feel like a lot of what Universal has lacked in the past is the ability to truly be competitive because it hasn't been at the same level content licensing IP-wise. Now I feel like, okay, we're getting there. We're getting real close. So it's nice to see that happen. Wanted to make sure everyone was aware that out on the West Coast, there is a new ticket deal when it comes to Costco offering something up. Now that the 70th anniversary celebrations are officially underway at Disneyland, many fans are planning trips to the theme parks. Between tickets, food, and souvenirs, the costs of visiting Mickey Mouse can seriously add up. I think we've talked about that to death. Every time those prices go up, it's always in style to complain about high prices. But this new deal is going to go a long way in helping that vacation budget. This week, Costco announced new Disneyland ticket package for $449.99. Guests receive a 3-day park hopper ticket with Lightning Lane multi-pass included. According to Mouse Planet, normally this would run you about $600. So that's a pretty major discount. The ticket also comes with another perk. That's a $30 Disney gift card, which can be used on anything from mouse ears to Mickey ice cream bars. So, again, another nice plus. Katrina, how would you rate this deal for magic-hungry families thinking about a SoCal trip?
I mean, I think this is a really great deal. When I did the math, it came out to about $100 difference, which is great. 130, I guess, if you're really counting the dining card, but I'm not sure how they got 600, but it's still a really great deal. $450 for a 3-day park hopper with multi-lane, lightning lane, like every day is huge, right? And you get to use it until December 19th, which is way better than the deal that they're doing right now through Disney, because Disney is only doing it until August, if I'm not mistaken. Like they're like little $100 a day, one park, and then you can add extra for the park hopper, is only valid until August, and this is valid until December. So this is a way better deal. And then the dining card, you can use, for food and beverage. I mean, that's great. It'll go by really quick, but I mean, if you're able to do that, and get like a churros and popcorn, it's great. I wish it was $30 a day. That would have been really nice. But I mean, you can't go wrong with this deal if you're thinking about going to Disney. And you don't have to use it consecutive days. You can use it, one day here, one day there, up to 3 times. So it's a great deal.
Great deal. Garrett, you can finally afford to come to Disneyland, maybe.
That is very true. Actually, I will be coming out there towards the end of June. My niece, who was at the wedding, you may know her from her fastball throws of flowers. She's finally old enough to, in my mind, appreciate Disneyland. If you take a kid there at 2 years old, they're not going to remember half the memories. So now that she's a little bit older, she can definitely enjoy it. And we're going out there and going to run around for a few days. And maybe if you guys want to hang out with us, Ariel and I would love to see you guys too. And while I would love to see all our viewers there, I'm mainly talking about just the Direct Kingdom team because it's a lot to organize, 20,000 viewers. That's a huge party where everyone, I don't have the patience for doing that just yet. I'm working on it, but yeah. But that is a solid deal, and Costco, love that place. From their hot dogs that never changed price since 1963 or whenever they opened to now. Costco's a magical place. I still remember, you go into any Costco, I think there's a good chance that on their travel board you'll either see a Disneyland ad, a Disney World ad, or a Disney Cruise Line ad. So Costco, Disney, they're besties.
They try to be, for sure. And even though you're not inviting the viewers, they can be my plus 25,000. I think that's a good idea. And I will invite them. You can accommodate. It's the least you could do since you never visit us when you come out to California.
True. Never.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let us know when you're in town. I'm down.
I've let you know when I'm coming out. I'm coming out into June. Just figure it out. There's.
Well, yeah, I've heard that part.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? I don't want to hang out anymore.
Yeah. Suddenly, I'm not interested. I don't know about you.
Don't. Katrina, you want to hang out?
I mean, I have to stick up for Tyler on this one.
But okay, Tyler or Ariel? Like one you're married
She's
to,
an adorable girl.
one you've only.
Not the mermaid, his wife.
Yes.
Right.
My wife.
Let's get that straight.
My wife.
We do have to correct.
Not the mermaid.
Tyler, that's my wife.
My
My
wife.
wife. Well, we'll duke it out and make decisions later. I'm sure that if this goes the way it usually does, we won't see you, Garrett. But we wish you all the best. We hope you have a great time.
Thank you. I'll Photoshop you guys in there.
Perfect.
great.
I'm looking
Sounds great.
forward to it. Speaking of Ariel, The Little Mermaid is returning to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Don't know if you heard, but she is on her way, in fact. How many wonders can one attraction hold, you might be asking yourself? Well, starting Tuesday, guests at Disney's Hollywood Studios can enter the newly revitalized Animation Courtyard Theater for the long-awaited, reimagined Little Mermaid stage show. The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, replaces Voyage of the Little Mermaid, which closed in March 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic. On Friday, Disney shared new footage and photos of the musical that features new set pieces, cutting-edge effects, and a new design. The show also includes musical numbers inspired by songs such as Part of Your World, Under the Sea, Poor Unfortunate Souls, and Daughters of Triton. Tyler, are you surprised to see this musical return? And is there still a place, do you think, for The Little Mermaid at Hollywood Studios in your estimation?
I mean, I'm glad it's coming back. I'm surprised that they have done so much to change it up, and because I would have just figured eventually they would just bring back the same show that's just been there for so many years. Now, does it feel like it holds a place at Hollywood Studios? Not as much to me anymore. It seems a little out of place. I feel like this belongs in Fantasyland over in Magic Kingdom or something more than it does in Hollywood Studios. But I guess they want to have their sprinkle of I don't know, what do you want to call it, core Disney somewhere in this park, because it really doesn't have that much of it. I mean, I guess you do have the Mickey Mouse attraction right next door, so you know, I guess I just proven myself wrong right there. But anyway, I mean, we're looking at it right now. It seems cool. There's a lot of cool projections, and I think just upgrading the technology is a good thing. I'm interested to see the show. It does seem, I haven't seen the old show in such a long time now that to me it looks very similar. Like, to me, I feel like they've kept a lot of the heart of the original show around too. So I think that's a good thing. It's kind of like how I was talking about earlier, how they've been plussing up the Fantasyland rides in Disneyland. It kind of has a vibe like that to me, of, you know, taking what was there and making it a little more of a spectacle. So I think it's cool to have it back. I think that park needs as many attractions and as much entertainment as it can get. And here we are with Little Mermaid coming back. Very, very interesting. The show has been, that building has been empty for so long that I was getting to the point where I was like, oh, it'll be something else someday. But they've proven me wrong.
They have proven you wrong indeed. Katrina, a great place to, no doubt, take a load off for a while. Nice air-conditioned space, particularly during these hot Orlando summers. Pretty cool that it's opening right now as we head into the busy summer months. And were you surprised at all that this theme and concept returned? Now, certainly they're mentioning it's a little different. I agree with Tyler. I mean, those video clips, those are brand new. It looks exactly like what I remember, with some enhancements. Just like Ursula looks better, you know, like a couple of the effects look better. But overall, what are your thoughts, Katrina?
I was surprised they brought this back. I honestly thought this was a dead building and they were gonna like knock it down, to be honest. So when this came back, I was like, whoa. But I will say this looks really cool. I barely remember the old show. I think I saw it once in my life. And from what I remember, you guys are correct. It looks the same, except, you know, yes, like there's like probably cooler enhancements with Ursula and the eyes and, you know, but it's definitely a place to go to cool off. And if you need to take a little quick cat nap, maybe for little children, you know, enjoy the show, get some AC, watch Ariel, the mermaid, not Garrett's wife. And
Not Garrett's wife.
Not Garrett's wife.
I love how we have to say that now.
And enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, it looks good.
No doubt about it. Garrett, this was a stop anytime I was in Hollywood Studios just for the sake of, you know what? It's always fun to get that shot of classic Disney in you. And I feel like it had much more of a purpose back in the day when the animation courtyard was really about the animation, and not necessarily about Star Wars on one side and Disney Junior on the other. And, it's gone through a lot of transformation over the years, but it's back. Are you surprised? I think the reason I'm asking everybody is because I think all of us sort of had this deep down, maybe not worry, but I think we all kind of assumed its days were numbered when it shut down in the midst of COVID, and we really hadn't heard a lot about it for years. And I think we all just sort of assumed we were never going to see it again, but now it's back and virtually better than ever.
Yeah, I am truly shocked that it is back. And in this clip, her tail looks weird. Like you can tell that is not her legs because, man, if her ankles got that skinny, that'd be kind of detrimental. So I think it's interesting how they've changed some of the, I guess, artistic elements of it. Like kudos to them for, I guess, re-enhancing it. It's like when you had the VHS, and then hey, we've now got the DVD with a brand new updated soundtrack with enhanced audio, and it seems like you've gotten the DVD version of the VHS that was there for years. Thank goodness Max is still there. Without that, he is the star of the show, honestly. It's a cool show. They use a lot of puppetry and sort of, I'd say dark ride element where you have people where you have actors, wearing black suits so you can't see it, and they use the black lights to really enhance the colors. I think that's cool. I'm just really bummed that they couldn't come up with something different or change it in some way, shape, or form. Little Mermaid is a Disney classic, and that's probably why they kept it around. But yeah, the animation courtyard is more like an animation alleyway almost, where
animation corner maybe.
Animation corner that drives you straight into Galactic Outpost, which still, but whatever with how they're designing all the studios is just an interesting park to begin with. But it's nice that the show's back, and there's something else to do in the park. That's the main thing. There's something else to do in that park to make it not quite half a day, maybe 5/8 of a day park, and I'm still bummed that this show got brought back after COVID, but Aladdin didn't at DCA. That show that had joke on joke on joke that would pull crowds forever. That's what I'm upset about. It's not that it's not that the show's here. It's that they they have this show, but they couldn't do it also in DCA, which had a larger venue, larger, I'd say, star factor to it. And personally, as much as I love my wife, Aladdin's my favorite Disney animated movie, so I gotta go like that. But I'm curious to think how long this will stay around for. Will it be for 2 years? Will it be for 3? Or will it be a shorter stint? The world may never know. It's like how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I have to agree with Garrett. There's actually a lot of shows now at Hollywood Studios. So
it's the show park, right?
Pretty much like the whole day, because they have like the new villain show. They have the Beauty and the Beast thing. They have Indiana Jones. They have this show coming back. And then they have Fantasmic at night. Dang.
Yeah, it's a lot of shows. I feel like this is going to stick around for a while, though. I can't imagine them spending any type of money on this and then only having it be around for a couple of years. I think Little Mermaid is here for quite some time. But I do agree that I wish Aladdin would come back to California Adventure, or at least some kind of Broadway-esque stage show needs to come back to California Adventure, because that theater is just a sad little kid just lost in a theme park at this point. But I do love that they are bringing back these puppet type shows, because they have like Little Nemo over at Animal Kingdom, and I don't know if you guys remember, like before Mickey's PhilharMagic, they used to have like a Lion King show over there in Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom, and the Lion King show was pretty incredible. That everything was just done with puppets, and all the cast was under the stage, and the whole show was just done with puppets. And there's something about it that's really fun to me, It makes me want to, they need to have like a Muppet show, like not a 3D show, but like I feel like if they had like a full bore, just stage Muppet show, that would be something really fun.
Wade would be at every single one of them because Muppets are Wade's jam.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Muppet Christmas
sure.
Carol is Oscar worthy, and he's the one that got me into that. So Wade knows his Muppets, like Kermit giving graduation speeches. My goodness, he's a frog, and he's a frog with an honorary doctorate, for goodness sake. Like the Muppets have power.
Could you imagine if they did Muppets live version of Muppet Christmas Carol every Christmas
that'd be
their
so
event?
sick. I want to in front of the castle.
I think that that would just bring in so many people. I feel like it has to, but I don't know, maybe Muppets are sort of a dying thing, unfortunately. I mean, we all agree we love them and they're great.
I feel like
but
it'd be really expensive, but they could. It
would
at
be
the Hollywood Studios Christmas event. What is it called? Jingle Bam? No.
That's what is it called?
Oh, Jollywood Nights now.
Yeah,
Jollywood Nights.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was one of their shows, though. I think Jingle Bam, something Jingle Bam. That was like
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You had the elves from Prep and Landing,
which everybody loves and remembers that movie.
One of the finest ever created. Bro Dude Guy saying, "I miss the Tarzan show." Anybody remember the Tarzan show?
Yeah,
was that
was
that in Disneyland or was that?
It was at Animal Kingdom. It was kind of an extreme sports kind of show, I want to say, with like dudes on skateboards and bikes, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
maybe
that was
Bro Dude Guy was on a skateboard.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very 90s show. Let me put it that way.
Cool.
Yeah,
Tom Weigel saying Hercules better than Aladdin.
Tom, it's coming to the Disney Destiny, man. It's gonna be the Broadway caliber show on the Disney Destiny, so you can see it on the ships, which I think you do more than you actually do the cruises. And if you're wondering why I'm argumentative with Tom or just more vocal, it's because he's my former Disney College Program roommate. So I can be a little bit more passionate.
I'll say the show at DCA Aladdin was way better than the Broadway version Aladdin.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree. That Broadway version was very disappointing to me.
Bro Dude Guy remembering it was in fact on rollerblades. How cool!
That's what's up.
I love that.
Sounds very nice. It reminds me of the movie Brink from Disney Channel.
Oh my God.
Turn that into a musical.
That'd be so good.
Brink the musical, please bring it on.
Brink the musical.
Richard saying, or Frozen at the Hyperion. If everybody could recall that last major run of
Honestly,
a
I don't
show.
think I've ever seen it.
Oh, you never saw it?
Did we see
You never
it,
saw Frozen? Yeah, we've seen Frozen.
Wait, yes, we did. We saw it once and then never again because it was really.
Boy, look how forgettable.
Yes.
For me, I just remember seeing all the clips where Elsa's dress would not transform properly, and that would be like all the clips I would see. No highlights of the show, just the clips getting, or just the dress, having a little costume issue.
Oh,
It was the coolest moment of the show when it was doing what it was supposed to do.
I do remember that scene, like the stairwell and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty neat. You know what we didn't see? Captain America.
We never got to see that.
That was
they
a
didn't
very
do it on the
limited
weekends.
run.
On a Sunday. They did it on the weekdays. And
They didn't want those locals to see it, did they?
I guess not. Every time.
Undesirables.
Undesirables. Not allowed. Well, certainly Little Mermaid returning to our lives with the musical sort of upgraded, updated, revived, but looks very similar to what it is that we remember. So returning to us at Hollywood Studios this coming week. Congratulations to the cast that is putting that on, and certainly for Walt Disney World for reviving a classic IP show in general. I think it's going to be nice to have that original animation style of concept back inside of those gates. Across Walt Disney World now we go to H2O Glow, the After Hours special party event at Walt Disney World's Typhoon Lagoon Water Park. If you've never heard of this, it's been around for a handful of years at this point. It's certainly something that I think it was like right before the pandemic took hold. They experimented with it really for the first time, and then brought it back slowly as things started to become a little bit more convenient for everyone as pandemic restrictions started to be pulled back in that category. And H2O Glow Nights is essentially an after-hours party that you buy a special ticket to. I wanted to share with everybody because H2O Glow Nights started again last night as of this recording, and I know that it was something I got to be a part of last year, and frankly, according to the website, absolutely nothing's changed. It's the exact same party that it was last year, and I thought, I never did share clips or anything from last year's experience. I figured might as well do that now, give everybody some insight as to what it is that this party has to offer, and that way, if you're heading out to Walt Disney World between now and, the beginning of September, if you want to spend some time at the water park at night for a truly unique event, you can judge for yourself whether or not it's going to be worth it for you. Certainly, this is an experience where you are going to be paying out of pocket for a separate ticket, as I mentioned. Now, last year, it was $75 in May and June, and then $85 starting in July and beyond. This year, it's a straight 85 across the board, from May all the way through August. So heads up on that front. I will share with you that the H2O Glow After Party date events, like I said, they started yesterday, and they stretch all the way through to the beginning of September. I guess technically 13th is almost the middle of September, right? So, through the beginning of September, we should say. All of these months are, disgustingly hot in Orlando. So going into a water park in the evening, especially as the sun goes down, that is a really nice place to be at night. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Garrett, I know you have spent some time not only in Blizzard Beach, but when you think about the two water parks, Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach, what would you rate higher just in general? When you think about going during the day, what park strikes your fancy?
During the day, I got to go with Blizzard Beach. I think it just has a better daytime atmosphere because they have a lot more smaller attractions, a lot of little slides, whether it's Summit Plummet or, that Lazy River. And then even the wave pool is a lot smaller. Blizzard Beach just had a lot more during the daytime, but for a night party, Typhoon Lagoon, I think, is just more iconic with its, tsunami waves and how they just set up the entire experience. So yeah, one is better at day, one's better at night. But I know that when you went there last year, you saw some celebrities from WWE, I believe, and they're just like just hanging out there, just showing off, their workout routines and all that stuff, all the hard work that they do. And thank goodness they were not, suplexing any guests, or like little kid comes up and they just like body slam them and drop them. Like, thank goodness that they have good people skills and all that. And did people recognize them, or were you just the only one that really like caught them and you're like, that looks like so-and-so?
Surprisingly, because there were a couple different points where I found myself behind them just coincidentally. Like, I would be walking places and suddenly I would notice that they were in front of me, and I would think, oh, how weird, we keep bumping into each other. I mean, the park's not that big, I suppose, so it's likelihood, but I only saw it maybe once or twice where fans were reacting. Otherwise, I don't really think people were looking. It was dark in a lot of places, and outside of the exceptional physiques of these two guys, because when you think of the normal theme park going adult male, we're churro loving, we're more to love individuals by comparison, and so those body types are very very much, they stand out when you are a picture of perfect health and physique, as most of these wrestlers are. And so I think that's the only reason why they would have stood out to anybody, is like they looked like masterpieces as they walk through the crowds of rotund individuals who are trying to get their lazy river on. But as they were walking in front of me, I first recognized them coming down a slide. I was filming, and I happened to catch one of them coming down a slide. They're the WWE Tag Team Champions at the time, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, both very active today, still on television today, big up-and-coming superstars over there at WWE. And they were with some ladies from their developmental brand in WWE, what they call NXT. And so they were also wrestlers. And like I said, they only got stopped once or twice. I certainly made myself known at one point and said hello because it was certainly a cool moment for me. But this event itself, outside of seeing the celebrities that come out for it, right, is also something you can take advantage of where you are able to enjoy a theme park in its original form for about 2 hours before the party really begins. So the party itself gets underway at 8 p.m. I'll tell you, you can arrive as early as 6 p.m. They have that like mix and mingle type of experience here where you can sort of assimilate into what is the day crowd at the park. Upon arrival, they will wristband you, as they did with me, and you're told, hey, you know, as it gets closer to 8 p.m., a lot of the party elements become live at that point. Now, I did mention $85 for adults. It's $42.50 for kids, 3 to 9. So, FYI, if you want to go take advantage of this this summer, 85 adults, $42.50 for kids, 3 to 9. But the 6 to 8 p.m. window really was what I found to be kind of the sweet spot where day crowds were leaving en masse and the party crowds had really yet to arrive fully. Now, the closer it gets to 8 o'clock, things kind of reach fever pitch and you start to notice the big crowds arriving and everybody running to the attractions because that's, you know, you want to get those out of the way. But for the most part, these first 2 hours, relatively quiet. You know, like I said, a lot of people were leaving and it was a great opportunity to get to enjoy some spaces with lesser wait. Certainly you will still wait. I noticed that as the night wore on, probably as you got closer to, you know, I don't know, 10 o'clock hour. That's when things were really walk on. But those first 2 hours of the party starting at 8 really is people on the attractions, people doing what they want to do. Then the entertainment really starts up and becomes a lot more fun and lively. You start to see a lot of the elements as things start to glow for the first time as the sun goes down. But yeah, this, you know, certainly the shots as I arrived from about 6 to 7:30 here, and you notice, I mean, it's not that busy, and that's again because people are leaving. And I know that when it comes to the water parks themselves, Katrina, I think you've mentioned, right? You've never gone to one, right, at Disney World?
I have not. No.
Oh, they're so much fun. I like
I've
to.
ever been was pulling in to get the COVID check way back.
That's
when.
right. Oh, I remember that
it.
story now. Yes, yeah, when they used that parking lot for it.
Yeah, that was it. And then and I was like, hi, bye. But this sounds like a really great idea. And then your like the tidbits are actually really helpful because I mean, if you're able to get in earlier, might as well just get it over with versus dealing with like that huge crowd, maybe like scoping out a spot and then getting on some rides, maybe getting food beforehand.
Absolutely.
Do the lines for food get pretty busy?
So that's one of the best parts about this is there is a bunch of food included. All right. So in addition to lower wait times for a lot of the more popular attractions, you can enjoy complimentary popcorn, ice cream novelties. They basically go to all of the self-serve soda fountains and just turn them on automatic, so you can just fill up whatever you'd like whenever you want. They set up cups, go over there, all you can drink. And so that to me, outside of when they first open them up at just after 8 o'clock, there is a line for probably 20 minutes at most of these locations when something is being offered for the first time. Everybody recognizes it. They all rush over to it. Like if they don't get to it, they're not going to be able to enjoy it, sort of a thing. Like they freak out and they think, if I don't get it now, I won't get it. And what I found was 20, 30 minutes in, those lines die off immediately. People recognize, oh, I can just walk up and grab it whenever I want throughout the night. It's no big deal. And I found that to happen quite a bit, where I would be walking by more of like the shacks. Now, they do offer full meals at the restaurants, at the walk-up restaurants, with some unique items that are part of like, the glow menu that are special for the event. So that would be, a traditional full price, but the sort of shacks that do your ice cream, your snacks, that sort of a thing, those, they just basically, they rip open the boxes of the ice cream novelties and stuff, and they just turn the boxes over to you on the window. And they don't They don't even guard them. They open up the boxes, leave the
Wow.
cases there, and you're welcome to walk up and grab what you want. And like I said, after the first 30 minutes where people think I need to hoard these things because I'll never
Sure.
get another one, it's fine. Everybody's cool. So
Interesting.
It
So I
ends
guess
up-
it'd be better just to get on the rides then before at 6 o'clock, and then try to do the foods afterwards, because then they have specialty foods.
that's what I would suggest. They also have the
Yeah.
glow punch that you can see here.
Oh,
This is
there it
also
is.
something that's special. Yeah, you can take the jar
And they
with you,
give
the
it to
little
you in a
mason
plastic
jar.
container?
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds expensive.
It's relatively cheap, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, you see here, they just sort of dump ice cream popsicles, and people are like, okay, I can grab
You
what
see
I
that guy
want. It's cool.
hesitating. He's like, should I take 2 Mickeys? I don't know.
You paid for it. Go for it. It's yours. And then the entertainment starts up, and this is really, I think, what draws people to the event. All of the characters in their summer wear and their beach wear, having a great time on the beach. The big stage right on the sand is really where the majority of people congregate. As far as like staking out a spot, outside of this one area, the rest of the park is empty. You could go sit anywhere you want. There's relatively little to no impact crowd-wise elsewhere in terms of lounge chairs and stuff like that. But you start to see all of the different elements of the park lighting up, becoming aglow, really for the first time. And of course, everybody was sort of lined up and waiting to get pictures for themselves alongside the characters in summer wear. This is what I was mentioning when it came to the soda fountains. They just turned them on. Everything was automatic. You could get whatever you wanted. There was no price tag attached. You
Wild.
already paid for it. And then I
Like,
think
that's
I'll
a
show here in a
dangerous
second.
thing. All you can
It's
drink with water.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Just
that's
go
a little
for it.
sketchy. That wave pool might be a little dangerous.
I'm ultra caffeinated now. But here's the ice cream cases. Like I said, they just opened up the boxes and take them. And there was nobody. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, nobody in
I feel like
line.
that'd be my moment to try that. What is it called? Like the sorbet one, the fruit one, because I've always wanted to try them and
Didn't want to
never
pay
get to.
$15.
No, are you crazy? Absolutely not.
Well, now would be the time. I think, overall, I definitely, when I looked at the price value for this, granted, it's 8 to 11 p.m. However, you can mix in starting at 6, as I had originally shared. I think with all things included, also lots of Toy Story characters that I don't think I captured here for you, but lots of Toy Story characters also hanging out. You saw Phineas and Ferb. They also switch out during the night, too. But for $75 last year, I thought, this is a decent value. You kind of get the park to yourself. A lot of sort of fun elements woven in. It's not as crazy busy as it would be dayside. And I found that for, I think, like a summertime memory, a summertime experience, this has got to be one of the greater options,
Yeah.
I think, at Walt Disney World. Even at 85 now, I'm like, okay, now we're pushing it. I think once you crest the 90 mark, okay, I'm not interested anymore. But, even with the price tag now, I still think this would be a really special memory. I put myself in the shoes of if I'm, say, 5 to 10 in particular, this would be a core life memory for me. Thinking about Disney World trip during summertime with my family, like this experience right here. Look at this. I mean, this would stand out in my memory bank of life. It's so cool. So definitely something I would suggest. Any questions for me? It was a great event.
I'm just more in astonishment of how a water park can stay open later than Animal Kingdom.
There's no animals to deal with.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very true. But other than the ice cream, did you partake in any other kind of specialty drinks or food or snacks, or did they have normal what made this, I guess, more special than, say, just doing it normally during the day? I know you've gone into like the different elements, but is it just that because there's less people, it just makes it a little bit more fun? And how it's at night and it's not as hot.
I think it's the water element in general makes it so unique, especially as the sun goes down, you go out into that gigantic wave pool and everything's obviously glowing, right? That's the whole
Yeah.
concept of the night.
Mhm.
And there's even though it's just lighting effects, really, right? When you think about, okay, it's transformed because of light at night. I think it's the novelty of it's in a time you never see the park. It's unique because of what they've added, and then on top of that, you're with a bunch of other people experiencing something that is, again, very unique, and you're doing it with a lot less of a crowd impact, a lot less of a capacity impact than you're used to. Plus, you don't have to worry about getting your snack on, getting your drink on. It's all there for you. So it kind of adds to the festive atmosphere. And I don't know, it's just it's so much more of a party than I would say doing any sort of other after hours in a traditional park would be. It just feels, I don't know if it's because of the beach and everybody's in beachwear and it feels more accessible to the crowd, because it really felt very accessible. The whole entertainment experience felt like you were a part of it. Whereas, you think about the other parks doing after hours events, you're kind of at a distance every time, right? Like you're at a distance with the entertainment. You're at arm's length all the time. This is one where those characters come out and mingle around you, and I think it's because they have less to worry about in terms of crowding and problems. It's just a blast. I mean, I had so much fun and was able to really, walk away with some special memories myself, and thought, boy, if anybody wants to take their kids or want to go hang out with friends, like this is a decent upcharge, and when I say decent, I mean not so bad. This is a decent upcharge, and it comes with some pretty nice extras.
Yeah, cooling off on a hot Florida night out there sounds really, really nice, because it's during the day you go swimming, it's like you're swimming in soup sometimes, but that's probably nice and refreshing and cool, and just a better atmosphere. And plus, whatever Disney's doing, you're not going to have mosquitoes biting, like eating you up. Like that's one thing I've realized, that whether it's Disney's bats that they have or whatever they spray and stuff, there's no mosquitoes, which is really, really nice, because I would not want to, be jumping into a pool filled with like mosquito carcasses.
Ew.
I don't think anybody would.
Yeah,
Hey, there are some resorts out there. They don't take the best care of the mosquitoes.
Well, you don't find that problem at this park. That's for sure.
I think it's been over.
There's so much chemicals in there too.
That's true.
That's true.
I've been to Typhoon Lagoon and I've been to Blizzard Beach, but I think it's been like over 20 years since I've been to either. And I could definitely see myself going back for the first time with one of these H2O glow parties, because it does seem like a lot of fun. And the thing that always stops me from going to these water parks is like, oh, I just don't really want to wait in line for the slides and stuff. And I feel like if I could just go there, have like a fun party atmosphere, get some popcorn, get a Mickey bar, and just enjoy myself with less people at night with the beautiful lights, like you said. I mean, it seems like a win-win. So
and protect your fair skin from the horrible sun.
And protect my English body from all of the sun rays. I just, it seems like a lot of fun, and it makes me actually want to check it out for sure.
Call me an influencer. I think I just sold Tyler. Look at that.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know if we're going in June.
This is a good deal compared to all their other after hours events, because aren't they in the $100 range?
Yeah, those after hours events really do rack it up, and I think this one's kept intentionally cheaper because it's less popular, and they know that. So they try and drive the interest to it. Tom here saying, I wonder if it's worth it to not buy rather normal day tickets and just buy tickets to the events. You could relax at the hotel all day and at night go to the events. Well, Tom, and that's the thing. I utilize this. I'm not a cast member anymore. It's been a long time since I've had access to these parks. Either for free or at a reduced rate. It's been many years, and so that cost-effective approach means a lot to me now, because everything is so expensive. It's a big cost every single time you step into one of these parks. And I looked at this as an opportunity where I wanted to do it on a day, in particular, where I had nothing else planned during the day, because I knew the night was going to be a bunch of fun, and I could start it at 6 p.m. and really go all out for it. And so I thought, this would probably be a perfect type of event for somebody just arriving. You haven't designated your arrival day. Most people don't as a park day fully, because a lot of people get in at noon, or middle of the day when they arrive to Orlando for the first time. This is a great opportunity to stage one of these events at night, and then you don't have to worry about going back. You get it, right? You go in there, you get to experience everything, so you don't have to go back during the day when it's bloody hot and zaps you of energy. You get to experience it during a much better time of the day, which is the evening. You don't have to deal with that scorching sun, and you get all of these elements you would never get during the day. I say make it either a first day thing or a last night thing is certainly what I would shoot for. That about does it for this edition, if you can believe it, of the Kingdom Report, and bringing News Talk Live to life one more time. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, gang.
It does indeed.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you all sharing your thoughts as usual today. And it sounds like next week there's a real possibility we'll be back in front of cameras. Hip, hip, hooray. Let's bring that on.
Hooray. Yay. Yay.
Been a long time coming. But I wish you all a fantastic week ahead, and certainly hope that, Garrett, there are no more weddings in your future.
That sounds sort of sad. I love wedding, drinks all around. But yeah, for myself, I'm pretty content with my first wife, and I just like to attend other people's weddings, being a guest. But yeah, it's been pretty swell. June 1st will be the 1-year cruise anniversary.
Huzzah!
That's wild.
Huzzah! Yeah, time flies when you're in med school.
It's true. Before we leave the audience, one piece of advice, one piece of wisdom from a year having been married now. What have you learned? Would you like to share?
I would just say, continue to laugh, smile, and spend time with your partner, and always try and find the little things that you love about each other, because there's always going to be whether it's finances or the things that you need to live life, that should not be the thing that tears your relationship apart. Just, you need to enjoy, spend as much time together as you can, and enjoy the little things, whether it's catching a movie, getting ice cream, or something fun and sweet. Just enjoy the little things, and continue to communicate.
The name of the game, gotta communicate, absolutely. Well, Tyler, Katrina, I hope you two also have a fantastic week. The picture of a fine marriage, if I do say so myself.
Stop.
Oh, don't.
Don't. Don't you even.
Their wedding was quite magical. It even rained at the end. It's like a Hollywood goodbye.
Yeah. We were
rain after.
Yeah, we were sandwiched in between rain. We were losing our minds the whole time, especially Katrina, because we had a bunch of outdoor photos we wanted to take, and our ceremony was outdoors. And the day before, I even had one of my groomsmen got he was flying in from Chicago, and he got diverted to Las Vegas, because the weather was so bad the day before the wedding, and then day of our wedding, sun all day, and then right when the wedding was over, rain again. So we were very lucky.
And Garrett dancing to NSYNC the whole time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
right.
I personally, other than the lovely couple that got married, the two people that I'm chatting with, I thought the person that married them, he was quite enjoyable, charming as well. Had a few good jokes in there, a few Disney references here and there, and everything. And up until I saw him, I wasn't sure if he was going to be there, because I can never tell if Wade's on a cruise or not. I remember seeing him, I'm like, Wade, what are you doing here? I thought you were on a cruise, dude.
Yeah, I did have quite the travel escapade leading up to that wedding, for sure. And so I understand. Yeah, it was a great moment. Coincidentally, I didn't think you were going to be there, Garrett.
Oh.
I had no idea you were going to show up, and we both saw each other in the lobby. I remember that moment. Our eyes met. everything
Yeah.
fell away.
It
got warm.
The slow motion started. The
Uh-huh.
music swelled, and they ran and embraced.
We
It
did.
was like Dirty Dancing, I've had the time of my life. And then we did the lift.
Spot
right.
on.
Nobody
that
puts
worked
baby in
out.
a corner.
Nobody.
I lifted weight, of course.
Of course. Right over your head. Yep. I
Yeah.
was hoisted into the air. It was a moment I'll
But I
never
missed
forget.
it.
Yeah, I hope you're not
I
afraid of
had
heights.
I had to show that I've been working out, and I wanted to show Wade that if he falls down, I'm gonna pick him right back up because that's what friends
Aw.
do.
That's
Like
my
a
boy. He
Chumbawamba
catches
song.
me. Like a Chumbawamba song. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
Spot on. Well, again, I appreciate everybody's contributions as always.
you.
And, well, thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all once again next week. We'll leave you with Disney News Talk Live. And hopefully next week we'll be back with Kingdom Report Live. For all of us, you take care of yourselves and go experience the magic for yourself. Bye-bye.